And we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It is time for the League Cup semi-finals. So welcome to my predictions video for the League Cup semi-finals after another incredible week of Premier League action. If you want to see my prediction for tonight's final Premier League game between Wolves and Nottingham Forest, check out the video link at the top of the description. But we are here to talk about the first legs of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. 2 games taking place this week and then the other legs in a couple of weeks' time. But before we get into it, a little bit of admin which some of you might not be aware of, and that is for the first time ever in these matches, VAR is going to be used slightly differently, because if there is an on-field decision that has to be made, the officials are going to go over and they're going to announce the on-field decision to the crowd like they would in a rugby match or an NFL match or something like that. They're actually going to have the referees mic'd up and actually announce the decisions to the crowd. So hopefully we do get some sort of incidents where that is necessary, otherwise it'll be a bit of a waste of time. Otherwise, I'll be interested to see how that happens. But as always, before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy all of my predictions series, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here with notifications turned on, because we have our first FA Cup predictions video of the season coming up for you at the end of this week. Given how many matches there are, I may split the FA Cup predictions up over multiple videos, so make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on so don't miss out on any of those predictions. And without any further ado, let's move ahead to the prediction screen, where you will see that so far this season, after the quarterfinals, we are 61 out of 88 correct predictions in the League Cup. By far my best series on the channel so far this year, and 6 correct actual scores so far. And the 2 games we have are as followed. On Tuesday night it is Arsenal against Newcastle, and on Wednesday night it is Tottenham taking on Liverpool. So let's start off with that game between Arsenal and Newcastle. Arsenal are here after beating Crystal Palace 3-2 thanks to a Gabriel Jesus hat-trick, and they haven't lost a single game since that match, but they did draw with Brighton at the weekend. For Newcastle, it was victory over Brentford, and since then they have won every single game and only conceded 1 goal in that time as well. And because of Arsenal's draw with Brighton, Newcastle are now only 5 points behind Arsenal in the Premier League as well. Now, going into this, there is some big team news, especially for Newcastle. Now, due to how the suspension system works in England, Fabian Schär is yet again suspended. He missed the game at the weekend due to 5 yellow cards in the Premier League. He misses this game due to 2 yellow cards in the Carabao Cup, as does Bruno Guimaraes. So that incredible midfield trio of Joelinton, Bruno and Tonali will be broken up for this match, with Bruno Guimaraes suspended after he also picked up 2 yellow cards in this competition. So he will miss this game. For Arsenal, they don't have any players suspended. However, they do have a fair few players injured, and young Ethan Nwaneri is the newest member of that injury list. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of what sort of lineup Arsenal are going to put out. For Newcastle, we would expect Sven Botman to retain his place at centre-back. Maybe they go for Lloyd Kelly this time, as Botman's first game for 10 months was last time. And in the midfield, it'll be Willock or Longstaff, I'm sure, that comes in for there. For Arsenal, I would expect them to play their strongest team. Surely Arsenal play their strongest team here. Arteta is pretty renowned for not playing his strongest team in these competitions, but they're now at the semi-final stage, so you'd expect them to do it, although they do have Manchester United in the FA Cup at the weekend as well, whereas Newcastle have a much easier tie. So we shall see. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. Arsenal won the Premier League game earlier on in the season 1-0. That was at St James's Park when they met at the Emirates last year in the league. It was a 4-1 victory for Arsenal. If it wasn't for the suspensions, I'd probably go for bare minimum a draw, if not a Newcastle win. But I just think with that disruption in that midfield, it's a real chance for Arsenal to capitalise on it. So I'm going to go for a very narrow 2-1 win to Arsenal for the first leg, and we'll see what happens in the second leg at St James's Park. As for the other tie, it is, of course, Tottenham taking on Liverpool. Liverpool, after last night's draw, are now 24 matches unbeaten, whereas Tottenham are about 24 hours unbeaten after yet again losing at the weekend. In their last rounds, Tottenham controversially beat Manchester United 4-3 and have not won a single game since, losing 3 and drawing 1. Liverpool's reserves saw off Southampton and have not lost a game since, winning 3 and drawing one, of course, to Manchester United last night. Now, the other thing that is worth noting is that in that run of fixtures, these two sides did play each other at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I think most of you will remember that game finished 6-3 to Liverpool. So considering that game was less than a month ago, you've got to fancy Liverpool are going to be feeling pretty confident going into this one. In terms of the team news, as I just mentioned, Liverpool did play their reserves in their last round match against Southampton. However, with this being a semi-final and with them having Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup at the weekend, I would expect Liverpool to play their strongest side going into this one, and their only current registered player unavailable for this is Joe Gomez, who is still recovering from his injury. But as things stand, every single other Liverpool player is fit and available for this one. For Tottenham, it's an absolute mess. They have still got a whole host of injuries to their backline. They have got Maddison and Pap Sarr both suspended for this one due to, again, 2 yellow cards in previous rounds. And there's still an illness bug going around the squad. So, realistically, it's pointless me sitting here and saying this is what I think the team is going to be, because with all of that going on, you're not going to really have any idea until they actually announce the team an hour before kickoff. But if Liverpool play their strongest team, I think whatever side Tottenham put out, they're going to be in massive, massive trouble here. As much as I would love to see another 6-3, I don't think it's going to be that chaotic, although games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the moment can be absolutely anything. For me, I would be absolutely shocked if Liverpool don't win both games, home and away. But I say that, I was absolutely shocked they didn't lose yesterday to Manchester United after what happened during that game. So there is maybe a little bit of remit that Liverpool might be starting to wobble after what we saw yesterday. But again, I would be stunned if Liverpool don't get the win in this game. I'm going for a 3-1 victory to Liverpool. It could be more. For the sake of drama, I hope it is more. But I'm going to go for my bog standard 3-1 Liverpool victory. And that is going to be it for this video. Of course, there is only 2 fixtures to talk about, so I can't drag it out any longer than is necessary. As always, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. And I'll put another poll up like I do for the Premier League games as to what you think is going to happen in these 2 matches. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I'll be back probably tomorrow or Wednesday morning with my mid-season Premier League table review. So again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. Final thank you very much for watching once again. I'll see you very soon.